What's up? Thank you for visiting my channel. This is Guru. You have visited Black Talk Radio, where black radio stations matter and black lives definitely matter. Today's video is about a provocative photo shoot of black women praising a white woman, and it sparks a debate. Well, I'm going to go through this story and you're going to see why this is pretty much ado about nothing, but we're going to get into that. Without further ado though, let me show you what the picture looks like so we can really get a close-up close and personal. Okay, so before I get into this article, I got to tell you that when I saw this picture, I was immediately turned off and pretty disgusted, but I said, let me get into the article and see what this is all about. And I gotta tell you, the photographer, who goes by the name of Benny Rose, he seems like he's a bit clueless as to the racial components of these type of visuals. But anyways, we're gonna get into it and let's get right to it. Well, a recent photo that surfaced of naked women holding their hands up towards a white woman. So let's be clear, naked black women holding their hands up towards a white woman standing in the center has caused quite a stir. Visual composer Benny Rose has built a name for himself thanks to the titillating images he shares online, and his latest photo has not only received thousands of likes but also garnered more than 500 comments. Many people are confused about the actual message behind Rose's imagery, while others have expressed uneasiness about a white woman being portrayed as a, quote, superior, unquote. One person wrote on Instagram, quote, black art is supposed to uplift, not leave you feeling hopeless. After all, we've overcome this. This isn't the image I wanted to see. And so I must read to you what the yoga and meditation instructor Mila K wrote. She writes, quote, first thing I thought of is how lucky we all are to be surrounded by that which is unconditional love and support. Surely as a black woman, I have been stepped on and over by people who look like me, don't look like me, both men and women. For me, this felt like how many of us live in selflessness so that others may feel they're empty as full. So I see those surrounding her not as a negative, but as colored compassion that is so natural it's a naked truth, unquote. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna finish this and then I'm gonna give you my point of view of this. Anyways, it goes on to say that they caught up with Benny Rose, to find out what exactly sparked his creative direction for this latest work. And he admitted that the idea actually wasn't his own. Okay, so the idea was not his idea. So let's just get that clear. The idea was not his. But he's getting the credit for it. Well, because he's the photographer. It says, quote, before everybody came over, I had an idea, he said. I thought in total we're only going to have about 3 bright-skinned women, but we're going to have to do something with that. Well, okay, again, I said I'll leave you my comments in a minute. But anyway, he continued, quote, but what ended up happening is we ended up with just the one bright-skinned person. Everybody else was darker. And then the models had came up with the idea. It was like, oh, you know what would be a good idea? Question mark. How about we do this? Question mark. And I was like, oh shit, let's do it. So basically these models were kind of just run-of-the-mill, kind of ad hocing the idea, just bouncing off ideas, and this came to fruition. And Benny Rose capitalized on it by taking photos of it, and he's getting recognition, so to speak. And here I am doing a video on it. Well, they have it posted, so of course I'm going to cover it. I can understand why it's garnering, the attention is garnering, because it does look, they said that they grabbed a bright woman. This is a white woman, not a bright woman. This is a white woman. I'm really hating the style of how they wrote this article, but I'm going to get back to this. Anyways, the article continues. Speaking on the underlying tone of the portrait, Rose simply said, quote, there is no backstory. He believes the meaning is, however, people react to it. It forces feelings out of people, and that serves as the art piece. Interesting. He says it's a truth and the pantheon of perspective of society. Unquote. In fact, the 24-year-old photographer was not at all shocked that his photo caused an uproar. Quote, we knew it was going to happen, he said. My girl had pulled me to the side and she's like, are you sure you want to take this picture? I was like, fuck yeah. It's brilliant. It is a brilliant image. So this guy, he knew exactly what he was doing when he took this picture. Of course he did. Well, Rose is a self-taught photographer, and he often draws inspiration for his out-of-the-box images from the subject or person he's taken a photo of. Many of his pictures are inspiring, and there are others that evoke negative responses when he's had images reported or removed from Instagram. This is his third time creating a new account, and this time around he's managed to gain more than 80,000 followers. Well, last but not least, Rose revealed that there is more to come from the controversial photo shoot that's left people with mixed emotions. He hasn't publicly responded to anyone and doesn't plan on allowing the internet to get in the way of his continually creating. Quote, it's just like if I see something, I take a picture of it. It's on you to figure out what's what, unquote, he says. While we can't predict what imagery Rose will drop next, you can bet it will be another attention grabber. In the meantime, you could check out some of his other pictures, because I'm going to leave the link in the description. But let me tackle some of the things about this article. First off, it's pretty disgusting how they titled this, and it's one of those clickbaits, right? Provocative photo shoot of black women praising a white woman sparks debate. Now, I just got finished reading the article. They were not praising this white woman. They simply had an idea and they went with it. But this person who wrote this article, Jacqueline Loran Yates, this idiot, she's sitting here writing that this photo shoot of black women praising a white woman sparks debate. Well, yeah, it sparks debate because what you did was you flat out lied. They're not praising her. And if you want to go by interpretation, let me tell you what I thought when I first looked at this. When I first looked at this picture, the first thing that came to my mind was the stories I've read of black history, of our history, of ancient, of African history, where the first visuals or the first time that black people saw white-skinned people, they were frightened to death because they thought they were the devil, because they were thinking, who were these skinless people, people who had no color? They were very odd, they were different. And so what came to my mind was that it looked like they were just reaching for this person who they're acting or thinking is an alien or some sort, you know, something of that nature. But anyways, let's continue. Then there was how, at the beginning of the article, how it says that while others have expressed uneasiness about a white woman being portrayed as a, quote, superior. Again, I think that's all about interpretation, because I did not think of this picture or this person being superior. Like I said, I thought maybe they think that she's an alien or something, or some type of creature of some sort. She's different. She's totally different from all the colored skinned people. I just thought something a little different. I don't know. Maybe if you have low self-esteem yourself, or if you consider white-skinned people as superior, then maybe you came to that conclusion, but that's not what I thought of. So anyways, let's continue. And then there's another person who says, black art is supposed to uplift, not leave you feeling hopeless. After all, we've overcome this. Isn't the image I wanted to see. Well, all I can say to you, whoever said that, is black is beautiful. And if you don't think the black body is beautiful, that is sadly on you. Very, very sadly on you. And you're lacking self-esteem if you happen to be black. There you go there. While another person expressed that it brought up thoughts of unconditional love and support. Well, you could say that too. But then came the screeching halting of the brakes when I read that Benny Rose stated, and I'm going to quote what he says. He says, "Before everyone came over, I had an idea." He said, "I thought in total we're only going to have about 3 bright-skinned women, but we're going to have to do something with that." I don't get why he's making the point of differentiating these women from all the beautiful black women that were modeling with them. They always, in other words, it seems like race is always a factor when black people are involved. Race is always a factor. And when I make this point off of his statement, people will say, "Oh, you're just you're racist yourself, you're blah, blah, blah." They always do that crap. It's called deflection. Anyways, you know what? I'm going to end this video off because I'm tired of talking about it. I just thought that this was an interesting piece of art, if that's what you want to call it. The photographer got what he wanted. He garnered a lot of attention. Anyways, excuse me. This is Guru at Black Talk Radio, where black radio stations matter and black lives definitely matter. Thank you for watching. Peace out.